Magnus Carlsen, the Norwegian chess grandmaster, is widely regarded as one of the greatest chess players of all time. He is known for his aggressive, exceptional in-game skills, and has been a dominant force in chess for over a decade, and continues to be a top player in the world today. Magnus, who had won 3 World Rapid Championships in 2014, 2015, and 2019, came to the 2021 World Rapid event with lots of hope of winning his 4th World Rapid title. Magnus did start the tournament well with 7.5 out of 9 points, and was half a point ahead of his next place rival, Norbert Abdusattorov. Magnus was pitted against the 17-year-old prodigy from Uzbekistan for the 10th round. Let us see how Magnus Carlsen, who himself was a young prodigy who defeated many top grandmasters when he was in his teens, will cope with a budding talent like Norbert. Norbert opens with c4. Magnus takes 20 seconds, and Magnus responds with a knight to f6. After the next few normal opening moves, the game turns into an English opening, with white developing his knights to c3 and f3, while black developed his knights to c6, f6, and bishop to b4. Norbert attacks Magnus' bishop with his pawns, and Magnus takes his bishop to b6 after being continuously attacked. After 3 more moves, Norbert captures the bishop on b6 with his knight, and Magnus captures the f3 knight with his bishop, leaving a double bishop advantage for himself, which comes in handy in many endgames. Magnus offered a queen's trade on f6 and was inviting Norbert for an endgame. However, Norbert declines it by moving his queen to d1. As everyone knows, Magnus Carlsen is a genius in endgames, where he has won numerous equal endgames out of nowhere. Magnus reroutes his knight to e6 by moving to f8. Meanwhile, white safely castles. With the pawn move on g5, Magnus is ready to launch an attack on the Norbert king's side with the plan of pushing his pawn to h5 and h4. Seeing the attack on his king's side, Norbert trades his bishop for Magnus' knight on e6, so that he can defend the dangerous kingside attack that Magnus is trying to launch. Norbert tries to be active by opening the pawn structure by pushing his pawn to f4. Now Magnus cannot take the f4 pawn with his e5 pawn, as the white b2 bishop is pinning the black h8 rook. After a few more moves, pawns get traded on f4 with an open g-file, while Magnus rerouted his knight to make it more active. Magnus again offered a trade of queens on g4, and after trading, Magnus seemed to have a good position with an active rook on h8, which can be doubled and put more pressure on the h2 pawn. After Norbert declines the queen trade offer, Magnus goes for long casting, trying to activate his other rook. After a series of moves where Norbert doubled his rook on the open g-file, the file where there is no open, bringing queen or rook to those files gives a distinct advantage, and Magnus traded a rook on g6, leaving Norbert with a passed pawn on g6 and just 2 more moves for a pawn promotion. Magnus went for the dangerous g7 pawn, trading his rook while giving away his h4 pawn, leaving a passed down pawn for Norbert on h2, which can come in handy after the queens get traded. Magnus attacked the d3 pawn with his knight moved to c5. However, Magnus cannot capture the d3 pawn, as he would lose it to the queen's h3 fork, where the queen will attack both the king on c8 and knight on d3 at the same time. With moving his queen to f3, Norbert seems to have a good handle on the position, and Magnus' sudden reaction seems to be one of panic. After a few normal moves where both players tried to develop their positions by moving their kings, Norbert offered a queen trade on f5. Magnus declined the trade offer, as trading the queen would lead to an endgame where white will have a passed pawn, which can eventually lead to a victory later. After a few pawn trades on d5, the black queen comes to the centralized square d5, giving some hope to Magnus. Norbert slowly starts to improve his position by moving his passed h-pawn, while Magnus' knight got activated through pawn trades on e4, giving a lot of probability for a good fork. Within the next few moves, white takes his passed pawn to h6, and Magnus seems to get a little impatient with the advanced pawn. Magnus goes for a knight fork, attacking the king and queen, and trading white's bishop for his knight on g5, leading to a queen endgame. Magnus grabs the pawn on a3, giving himself 1 extra pawn on the queen endgame. However, the world champion cannot be happy with this until he sees off the dangerous passed h6 pawn. After a few continuous checks, Norbert takes his queen to g7, offering for a trade and also having a solid plan of pushing his pawn into a queen via h7 and h8. With the white pawn just 1 square away from promotion, Magnus controls the promotion square by moving his queen to e5. After a series of continuous checks where Magnus seemed to be happy to repeat the moves to get a draw, Magnus reached a place where he was no longer able to give a check. and Magnus took his queen and blocked the promotion of square h8. However, that was not enough, as Magnus missed a simple queen trade move on d4 after moving his king to a1. It would be a remarkable achievement for any young chess player to defeat Magnus Carlsen in a game, as he is widely regarded as one of the greatest chess players of all time. A young prodigy like Noterbeck achieving such a feat would be a testament to his incredible talent and dedication to the game. This victory would undoubtedly be a major milestone in Noterbeck's career and could potentially propel him to new heights in the world of chess.